Every time you open a social media app as an entrepreneur, you're probably bombarded with this. Want to learn how to make money online? I scaled my business to $10 million per month. Here's how. I made $100,000 in one day. Here's how. Give me 45 seconds and I will show you how I did $10 billion in 30 days of revenue. My ads generate $500,000 per month with this funnel. My next theory is that you're probably sick and tired of getting blasted like this in your eardrums every single day. And the thing with all these ads is they never give you any true value up front. It's always dopamine hooks to get you to listen and eventually click the link. And they also never tell you what software they use to do these astronomical numbers every month, which is what this video is about. So to close more deals and to make more money in remote sales for setters, closers, marketing agency owners, or operatives, you need scalable, intelligent systems like Brilliant Closer for macOS. Hello, I'm Bobby, and I'm an iOS software developer and creator entrepreneur. And I currently offer creative strategy services for a high ticket investment sales client. And I built Brilliant Closer software for macOS to help businesses get a better handle on their leads. And in this series of videos, I'm going to explain the overall problem businesses face when it comes to lead management and lead nurturing. And I'm going to show you the software firsthand, how it can help your business close more deals and make more money no matter your niche. Sound fair enough? All right, let's go. The problem I incurred working with this client is that their CRM was incredibly clunky and inefficient when it comes down to managing the leads. I was asked once, what's the progress of the leads generated and what's the value of the leads that have been generated? But due to the systems in place and the nature of the lead flow and the closing process, it was actually difficult to track that. So nothing existed, to be quite frank, and it was all clunky, as I said, and that's what I like to call it. But there were too many clicks, to get snippets of information, which was generally an awful experience for both my client and for myself. Now, businesses and especially high ticket sales require rich data points on the leads that they're generating and the lead nurturing steps itself. So it's important to know what's happening with the leads that you're generating, because otherwise you have no scope whatsoever on the money that you are spending to advertise and acquire those leads. And as a systems thinker, I went away and I pondered on how I would solve this problem for the client and others to come in the future. First, I looked on the market for out of the box solutions, but alas, many software solutions were either incredibly expensive for what they offered, or they were just poorly designed and they offered too many bells and whistles. And again, it wasn't providing me the one thing I needed the most, which was a smooth and simple way to manage leads, track leads, and track the progress of the leads and the value of the leads. So by force, I had to make something from scratch, which as an iOS developer was not a big deal because I enjoy building things that solve problems for creator entrepreneurs, especially if it can make my clients and my business money. That's a win-win. But this was going to include a different type of system, something that would be easy to use, easy to understand, and easy to navigate to give me what I needed. In all fairness, I found one software which was reasonably priced and it had a few of the things that I needed, but its application was for all round purposes, whereas I needed something specifically for lead management, lead tracking, and lead valuation. And the solutions that existed were pretty much generic, broad use. And the problem I needed to solve required customization with a broad appeal. And that was the game changing idea. So let me lay out the general use case for info product sellers, marketing agency owners, and remote sales, appointment setters, closers, and coach consultants. They usually start with their ad creative on Meta, Google, TikTok, primarily to run their ads, and they run ads to a landing page, a type form, an Airtable, or ClickFunnels, or some type of information capture point. Once they get the leads, they may have a Zapier integration to a bespoke CRM. However, for many businesses, there's usually a disconnect in the connection point between the lead generated and then how the lead is nurtured and tracked. Some platforms, mentioning no names, offer a ton of features, literally an ocean of features, which would definitely overwhelm a non-tech savvy operator. So my use case was to serve solo operators, marketing operators, and small teams who can pretty much do a basic level of Excel spreadsheet formatting and data cleaning, which are the only requirements you need to use the software Brilliant Closer. Once you can do that, you're off to the races because the software automates everything after that for you, and all you have to do is feed it. Now, it goes without saying that the pricing needed to be right because a lot of data was going to be used on a regular basis on the user side, aka loading CSV files of their leads and updating notes on the lead pipelines. However, this wouldn't be too crazy from a data standpoint. And in the fashion of my software business model, I opted for a one time payment for the user. Okay. Now, the great thing about Brilliant Closer is that if and when users request additional features, then I can add them at a later date. Whereas my belief is that a lot of software today goes wrong, in my opinion, that's all it is that they overload their applications with features that don't get much use. And as I began to use and test Brilliant Closer in the final months of 2024, in real time with real data, I could see what little tweaks needed to be made. Okay. Now, I believe at present, I've had over $150,000 of business go through the software, and that number is growing, which given more insights for improvements on the back end. So, adding unnecessary features, then charging high amounts for it, that just doesn't seem the best solution, in my opinion, for businesses. So, what would be the outcome for you as a solo operator or small team? Well, using software that solves one specific problem can allow you to focus on areas of your business that need improving. Well, using software that solves one specific problem can allow you to focus on areas of your business that need improving regarding lead generation and lead nurturing. Today, it's very easy to be stifled with so much tech and you don't get the results that you want. But there needs to be attention paid to the way data flows from place to place, right? There's a science to it all. There's a flow that is needed to take a potential lead or customer from one place to another and be served with accuracy and care. And this is why the correct systems are needed in your business. Otherwise, that will not happen. And leads can fall through the digital cracks, not be called for days, which loses precious attention points with that lead. Now, the statistics on closing rates are staggering. So, for example, if you don't call a lead within the first 5 minutes of them leaving their details, then your closing probability drops to 80%, which that was a Harvard study that highlighted this fact, which I'm sure you would agree is a terrible, terrible rate. Video call closing and appointment setting is still a thing and still very optimal for certain sectors, specifically coaching, consulting, etc. Now, the main reason I would say is because people are selling information. It's thin air, it's words, it's ideas, it's a fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy. So naturally, humans believe that by speaking on a video call where they can see the person visually, it helps them close the gap on the trust scale. Now, in my opinion, that's what I believe it comes down to for both parties, both the seller and the buyer. Buyers want to know you want some fabricated AI agent avatar, and sellers want to know you are a real human and not a bot. And when it's all said and done, the art of closing a lead hasn't changed much, other than the method of communication between the buyer and the seller. And there is a correlation, I believe, between speed and attention. So the faster that you're paying attention to the leads, the more money you will make in your business. And the slower you are paying attention to your leads, the less money that you're going to make. The added extra on top of that is if your technology stack is wrong or not optimal, by default, your closing rates will drop to 80%, which is no bueno. So for $199, you can get Brilliant Closer for macOS today and start closing more deals and making more money. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one in this series.